Good day everyone, I am Selvin Roj Emlanshan from BSc 3D and we are going to talk about highway and railroad engineering. And today we are going to talk about transportation, the importance of transportation, the types of it, and highway development and planning. So let us proceed to the definition of transportation. Transportation. What is transportation? Transportation is the action of transporting someone or something or the process of being transported. It is also a system or means of transporting people or goods. It is also the action or practice of transporting convicts to a penal colony. Sa madaling salita, ang transportation ay ang paglilipat ng people or goods mula sa isang lugar patungo sa isang lugar. Isang halimbawa na rin dito ay ang pagbabakasyon mo na kunwari dito ka sa Marinduque. Nagbiyahe ka papunta ka ng Laguna. So, isa na uri na yun ng transportation. So now let's talk about the importance of transportation. Physical distribution of products. Dahil sa transportation, nakakarating ang mga products mula sa manufacturers patungo sa mga consumers. Kung wala ang transportation, ito mangyayari. Economic developments. Without transportation, economic developments would not be a thing because people cannot go to other places where there are better paying jobs and go to places where there are better opportunities. Supply chain management. As I have said earlier, without transportation, the supply chain would be non-existent because the products that the manufacturers made will not go to retailers, wholesalers, and to our consumers. Social movements and mobility. Isang halimbawa na rito yung ginawa kong example kanina na hindi ka makakapag-travel o hindi ka makakapunta sa pinaroroonan mo kung walang transportation. Kaya mo naman makaalis sa pwesto mo sa paglalakad pero hindi ka makakaabot ng malayo dahil walang transportation. Globalization. Transportation is very important in globalization because there will be no exchange of goods from different countries if there's no transportation. At hindi rin magkakaroon ng tinatawag na Silk Road kung walang transportation. And because of transportation, it also creates opportunities and creates jobs for other people. So now let's proceed to the types of transportations. We have air transportation, rail transportation, water transportation, and roadways transportation. As we all know, air transportation mainly focuses on airplanes. Rail transportation is via trains. Water transportation is via cargo ships, cruise ships, boats, and other water vessels. Roadways transportations consist of cars, trucks, buses, and any other vehicles on the road. We all know that every type of transportation has its own advantages and disadvantages, so let's tackle them all. Let us proceed with the air transportation. The advantages of air transportation is that it is the fastest mode of transport and it can transport for far places. Air transportation is also the most commonly used transportation for international transportation, since it is the fastest way to travel. But the disadvantage of air transportation is that it is costly, since airplanes are big machines that require maintenance to ensure the safety of passengers and cargo. An example to the air transportation speed is that from Manila to Cebu, it only takes about a few minutes or less than an hour. But when you use a roro or a boat, it would sometimes take days or overnight to travel. Now let us move on to rail transportation. The advantages of rail transportation is that it is less expensive than air transport, and it can move large amount of cargoes, since they use locomotives to transport the cargo. This can be done by connecting many carriages to the locomotive to pull it across the tracks. But since the engines of the locomotives are less powerful than the airplanes, rail transport is slow and takes quite a bit of time to reach the destination. Now let us move on to water transportation. The advantages of water transportation is that it can carry large amounts of freight in short distances, and it is cost effective, since ships are a great way to transport goods from one port to another. But due to its slow paced travel, people come up ways to make the distance shorter for the ship to travel by making artificial canals for the ship to pass through. And a great example for that is the Suez Canal and the Panama Canal, so that ships can travel from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean instead of going around South America. And also, the disadvantage of water transportation is that it is time consuming and the ships have limited capacity. And also, the goods that will be placed or shipped must be not sensitive, like bulk goods. And our last type of transportation is roadways transportation, na kung saan ang mga advantages nito ay it can access remote places, and it is efficient. It is an efficient way of transportation for the movement of people and goods. So dito sa roadway transportation, ang tinutukoy nito itong mga kalsada natin na since ito naman ay nasa lupa, madali tayong makaka-access sa mga liblib na lugar as long as madadaanan ito ng sasakyan, kahit na ito ay sementado o kaya off-road. Isa ring advantage nito ay ang efficient way of transportation for the movement of people and goods, in a sense na kunwari ikaw ay may kamag-anak na kailangan dalhin sa ospital, madali kayo makakapunta dahil sa mga kalsada na nagbibigay ng easy access para makapunta kayo sa inyong pararoonan. Isa pa rin nakikita kong advantage nito is it serves as a connector between airports, seaports, at ang iba pang types ng transportation. Ang disadvantage naman ng roadways transportation is that it can experience heavy traffic. Since marami ang mga sasakyan sa kalsada, hindi maiwasan na magkakaroon ng mga traffic, lalo na sa mga syudad na kung saan concentrated ang mga tao at mga sasakyan. Isa pa ring disadvantage nito is that it is not a viable mode of transport to cross a vast expanse of ocean, since ang roadways transportation ay kadalasan sa lupa, isang napakalaking task para sa mga engineers ang gumawa ng mga tulay para makatawid sila sa mga expanse ng tubig, gaya ng dagat at mga ilog. Great examples ng engineering marvels for roadway transportation on an expanse of water is the CCLEX and the San Juanico Bridge na kung saan ito ay tumatawid sa dagat. So now let us move on to highway development and planning. Highway development. Highway planning is a basic need for highway development and is also a necessity for highway planning. Highway planning. This entails developing a transportation plan in a certain area where it will address the needs of that specific area. In some way related ang highway development and highway planning in a sense na bago tayo magkaroon ng development sa highways o sa mga lansangan, kalsada, kailangan muna natin magkaroon ng plano or planning para malaman natin ang mga proper steps and needs ng isang lugar na yun para ma-develop natin ito ng maayos at naayon sa kung anong kailangan ng lugar na yun.